Hello everyone, welcome to the daily current affair video from Veranda IAS. Today, on 3rd of May 2023, let us take some topics of UPSC importance and have a detailed analysis along with mapping with statics as well as a syllabus. So without wasting much time, let us proceed further with respect to our first topic, that is China, Russia and Pakistan ministers to attend SCO meet in Goa. So I hope you guys know what is SCO, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. That is why we call it as a SCO, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So what is the news? So the news is that the foreign ministers of China and Russia will attend the SCO foreign ministers meeting this week in Goa. So what is the main agenda of their visit? It is to lay groundwork for Chinese President Xi Jinping's as well as the Russian President Vladimir Putin's travel to India early July. Why? To attend the July SCO summit that is going to happen. As you guys already know, SCO, India is already chairing for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization this year. And also it is likely that Mr. Xi Jinping is going to travel to India in September for attending the G20 summit also, where India have also got the presidency for the G20. So along with Xi Jinping, it is also likely to have Mr. Putin, Shehbaz Sharif as well as the Central Asian leaders to participate in the G20 summit also. Now let us understand or proceed further in understanding some of the statics associated with Shanghai Cooperation Organization, because with respect to GS2 in international groupings, such kind of topics will be very, very important. So just seeing the news, we are proceeding further in understanding another important topic, that is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO. Very frequently we will be able to see the news with respect to Shanghai Cooperation Organization in the newspapers and also in headlines. So it is very, very important. Let us now clearly analyze or understand what is this Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Yes, friends. So you should understand that it is an organization based on Eurasian countries that is mainly intended for economic and political activities. That is, it is a political, economic and military organization, and that is why we are called it as it is an intergovernmental international organization. So what is SCO? SCO is a permanent intergovernmental international organization which is having a characteristic of Eurasian political, economic and military organization. So what is the main aim of formation of SCO? That is to maintain peace, security and stability in the Eurasian region. So you should understand that it was created in the year 2001 and it came into force in the year of 2003 after signing the SCO charter, which was signed in 2002, and it entered into force in the year 2003. So it was created in 2001 but it entered into force in 2003 after signing the SCO charter in 2002. Okay, so again I am repeating, what is SCO? It is a permanent intergovernmental international organization based on Eurasian countries as a political, economic and a military organization, right? Okay, so now let us proceed further. What is the background of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization? We should understand that, right? What is the background? So before SCO is going to come, there should be something else that would have been there, right? So yes, there existed something called as the Shanghai Five. So as the name indicates, it is something of or a grouping of 5 countries. Yes, so it was a grouping of Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia and Tajikistan, which was created in the year 1996. So in the year of 1996, 5 countries came together and created what we call it as a Shanghai Five, an organization. Then what happened? A twist happened. In 2001, another country called as Uzbekistan have also joined the Shanghai Five, and they themselves have changed the title to something else that is called as Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO. So India is a member of SCO. Many guys will be thinking or asking me the same thing, right? Yes, India as well as our beloved neighbor Pakistan became members in the year of 2017. Now let us understand what is the main purpose of this SCO, or what was the need of this SCO. So we can see that the SCO is mainly intended to inculcate a kind of a mutual trust and a kind of a feeling or fostering the feeling of neighborliness among the member states among itself. So we can see that it also holistically improves the politics, the trade and economy, research and technology and culture. So all the kind of different spheres of activities are being promoted with effective cooperation among the member states itself. Not only that, we can like every member states are coming together to promote tourism, transport, or coming up with the different ideas of sustainable development, environmental protection, energy conservation, energy security, education. So all such kind of ties are being enhanced among the member states. Then definitely, as we already said, peace, security and stability is one of the main focus of the creation of SEO itself. And also establishment of a democratic, fair and rational new international political and economic order was the main intent of creation of something what we call it as a Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So Shanghai, we are always saying. So where is the Shanghai? Can anyone guess it? Yes, you said it right. Shanghai, it is there in China. Now let us understand about the members of SEO. So how many members are there? Don't forget or don't get it confused. There are 8 member countries that is there in SEO. Which are they? India is there, Kazakhstan is there, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Pakistan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. So such 8 countries are the permanent members of the SEO. Okay, do not forget, here also we have given the map in which Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Pakistan and India. These are the 8 countries. Apart from that, we have someone called as observer status countries, which are there are 4 countries with observer status, that is Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran and Mongolia. Then we have some countries as a dialogue partner status. They are Azerbaijan, Armenia, Cambodia, Nepal, Turkey and Sri Lanka. So if it is an organization, definitely there should be something called as what? A secretariat for the SEO. Yes, we have a secretariat for SEO that is based in Beijing. So what is the general rule? Just like a common secretariat, we have the state secretariats, right? So similarly, we can say that this secretariat is providing the informational, analytical and the organizational support needed for these member states to function and work together to improve the different spheres of activities. And definitely, when the such kind of a diversified countries or member states are coming together, there should be a common official language. Am I correct? Yes. So here also we can see that Russian and Chinese are the official languages that is there for the SEO. Okay, do not forget about it. Now let us understand about the structure. So every organization will definitely have a structure to function, right? So even in our schools, in our colleges and wherever we look upon in the government system itself, we do have a hierarchy or a structure, right? So without a hierarchy or a structure, it will be very, very difficult for us to proceed further. So here also we can see that there is a head of the state council, there is a head of government council, there is another council of ministers of foreign affairs, then there is a regional anti-terrorist structure. Now let us see what is the head of state council it is. Okay, so we can see that this is a supreme Shanghai Cooperation Organization body which have certain decision making power. That is, it decides on certain things like with respect to the functioning, that is internally how it should function, with respect to certain interaction between different states and international organization, and also if any international issue is coming in the Eurasian area, how or what are the decisions that they have to take. So that is where the heads of state council is there. Then the heads of government council is there. That is, these people or this council will be approving the budget or any kind of an issue related to the economic sphere. Such kind of a decision is being made by the heads of government council of SEO. Then we have the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs. Definitely, if it is an international grouping, it should be led by or headed by the corresponding foreign ministers of each member state. So here also we can see that the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs, they are the one who relate to the day-to-day activities. Then we have what? RATS, that is Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure. Yeah, especially the country like that of India and Pakistan, we are focusing, right, like especially our country have a great legacy of fighting against terrorism and separatism and extremism also, right? So for fostering this kind of an anti-terrorist activities or to combat the terrorism, separatism and extremism, they have a wing called as the Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure. So this is an overall general structure that is being followed by whom? By the SEO or the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, definitely, when such kind of member states with the diversified political thoughts, economic models are going to come up, what is going to be created? Yes, different conflicts are going to come. The difference of opinions are going to come. So here also we can see that such kind of a difference of opinions will be there between India and other SEO countries. So India and China will have border issues. If you if you have read already about the Doklam issue or the issues with between India and China over the Tibetan area or over the Arunachal Pradesh region, so we can see that we have certain over border issue with respect to India and China. Then India and Pakistan over terrorism. Yes, we have great history of that. We are combating against a state-sponsored terrorism that is affecting or inflicting upon India, and also the frequent ceasefire violations that is happening, right? The ceasefire violations which is happening. So these are some of the conflicts that India is facing with respect to other member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organizations. Okay, so in the functioning of any organization, we should have, or we will be having, different challenges, right? So here also we can see that in the functioning of SEO, there are also a great number of challenges. Let us see what are these challenges. One is the China's rise. So we can see we have a lot of external pressure from regional powers, because as you know, China is becoming a great economic power and it is a great geopolitical area or a country as such. Okay, so we can see that the Western countries like that of the US is exerting a lot of regional pressures or external pressures into the rise of the China, against the rise of the China. So it actually, being China being the member of the SEO, it is really one of the great challenges faced by the SEO. Then what? Limited institutionalized mechanism. So we can see a lack of formal decision making powers for bodies are there. Even though we saw a lot of councils and bodies, they can make some kind of internal decisions, but it is not having some kind of a very crucial decision making powers in the global perspective. And also, if there is a kind of a conflict between the member states, there is no proper dispute redressal mechanism among the members. That is all in limitations of institutional mechanism that is there existing in SEO. Then divergent interests, as we already said, because different member states will be having different economical models, different political thoughts, different cultures, different we can see everything is different based on on these member countries. Though we will be having some historical or traditional cultural commonality, there will be a lot of divergent interest, right? So such kind of a political divergence or such kind of a disagreements will definitely create some challenges. Then we can see some limited geographical scope associated. We can see this SEO is only having some kind of an element with respect to this areas of Eurasia and the neighboring regions, and it has having very limited engagements with the global issues. So suppose if anything which is happening in the West, SEO is not having that much say over any particular global issues as such. So we can see their geographical scope is very, very limited, and as well as the Western skepticism and the criticism associated. So we can see the West always considers the Southeast Asian countries to be very poor or developing nations as such, because West countries itself says that they are the most developed nations. So such kind of a lack of credentials attributed to the Southeast Asian countries, to the Eurasian countries, and also with respect to the internal conflicts that is there within the member states of the SEO. So all these are the different challenges that is being faced by whom? Being faced by the SEO in its proper as well as efficient functioning within their scope of activities. Okay, so is it clear till now? Yes, shall we proceed further? Now comes the most important point. Why we are now looking upon this topic of SEO, or what is the significance of SEO for India? Definitely, when we are going to improve the trade and investment ties and this agreement between the member state, it is going to improve what? Exports are going to improve. Imports are import-export kind of variations are going to happen, right? And the same foreign direct investment is going to come, right? So a lot of kind of things are going to improve in the economic sphere. So economic cooperation is very, very important with our neighboring countries. Then comes the energy securities. Central Asian countries are very, very viable with respect to vast reserves of oil and gas. They have vast reserves of oil and gas, and it is very essential for a highly or most populated country in the world as India to tap this kind of reserves of oil and gas. So in order to have our energy security, it is very, very important. And I would like to add another point, that is in the 22nd summit of the SEO, we have signed something called as the Samarkand Declaration, in which It centralizes about the connectivity, energy, and food security. Or in what all ways all this India and the other member states can improve our connectivity, energy, and food security is being declared in the Samarkand Declaration. Then comes what? Security cooperation. So we already discussed about the RATS, that is the regional anti-terrorist structure which fights against terrorism, separatism, and also extremism. Now let us discuss about the way forward. So very attractive forum for regional states. It is a must say. That is such a kind of a forum of intergovernmental organization in the Eurasian countries. It is really an attractive forum for the regional state. But the concern comes with respect to the internal differences, the internal contradiction, or the mutual conflicts between the member states. That has to be addressed as soon as possible in order for us to make this SCO one of the most prominent political economic organization in the world itself. Then the Russian domination as well as the China's growth keeps the West out. That is a kind of a pros associated, because Russia itself, being a developed country, has a domination over the world, because over the in the world scenario itself. China is a highly developed or highly developing growing economy, as well as a country with a high GDP also. So we can see that the combination of Russia and China coming together, it opens up a wider scope for the SCO as one of the most powerful organization in the world. And we can see that it is, since it is an organization of only the Eurasian countries, the West is being kept out of it. Right? Yes. So this is some of the pros and some of the challenges that we have to address in order to make it one of the most significant organization among all the geopolitical or international organization in the world. Right? Shall we proceed further? I hope it is a yes. Yes, we shall proceed further. Moving on to the next topic, Bangladesh seeks India's help over Rohingya. So those who are following up or reading a continuous newspaper definitely will be having some ideas on what is this Rohingyan crisis as such. Okay, so what is the news today? So Bangladesh President Mohammad Shahabuddin urged India to take steps in persuading Myanmar to take back the Rohingyas. And these Rohingyas were forced to take refuge in Bangladesh to evade persecution in the neighboring country. That is why they came to Bangladesh. And Bangladesh President now is asking India to move some kind of resolution in UN or something to get the Rohingyas back. So mainly why the Bangladesh is saying so, because once those refugees are going to come up, it become a kind of a burden for that particular country to feed them, to give them opportunities, to educate them, to take care of the health. So many kind of a developing countries will be finding it very, very difficult to accept the refugees coming from other countries. So this is the main concern why the Bangladesh is seeking the help over India. Okay, now let us see a bigger background or a clearer picture of this Rohingyan crisis. What is the background of this Rohingyan crisis? So you should understand who are these Rohingyas. So these Rohingyas are a kind of group of 1.1 million people who is living in the Rakhine state of Myanmar. Myanmar is also a neighboring country. So in the Rakhine state of Myanmar, we can see that there is a minority group who are generally Muslims. We can see 1.1 million people do live, and they do coexist, and they lived with the Buddhists for decades and decades. Then where the problem came? The problem came when Myanmar government treated them as a stateless people. They are saying that yes, you are not the part of our state, you are out of our country. That means we are not recognizing you as a citizens of our country. So the government itself is saying something like that without accepting the minorities, denying them the citizen. The government itself, the Myanmar government itself is not giving the citizenship. So restrictions on their freedom of movement is being imposed by the Myanmar government. Access to medical assistance is being restricted by the government. Education is not provided by the Myanmar government, and all other basic services were denied by Myanmar government. So what will happen? Definitely rebellion will break up. So same thing happened here. Violence broke out in the northern Rakhine state with the militants attacked the government forces. So the government forces are always backed with the majority Buddhist people, but we can see that here the militants like the minority militants attacked the Rakhine state itself. Then what happened? Definitely the government force will take actions against the militant group, and approximately we can see that 1,000 people died and more than 3 lakh people were forced to escape out of Myanmar, or were forced to go out of the state of Myanmar itself. So we can see that there are approximately 40,000 Rohingyas living in India who came from Bangladesh, from Myanmar to through Bangladesh they reached India, and according to the Minister of Home Affairs, we can see that approximately 40,000 Rohingyas are there in India living. Now, it is very important for us to understand about the global framework. Is it possible for someone to say that you are not accepted here? So what if, even though we are a developing country, what if these refugees are coming in? Is it a nice move from our end to reject them, or to ask them to go back to the same country who are waiting to get them persecuted? Right. So, what is a general global framework? Is there any general convention or protocol associated? Let us see that. So, you should understand that a refugee law is a part of an international human rights law. Okay, so it is generally being inculcated within the international human rights. It's a kind of a like basic value or a basic love that we showed among as humans, right? A kind of a refugee, someone who is getting persecuted, if they are getting, or if they wanted some asylum in our country, it is our basic right to give them asylum, right? So UN adopted a convention relating to the status of the refugees in 1951. And after that, we can say that in the year of 1961, a protocol relating to the status of refugees was given in the year 1967 also. And my dear friends, here you should understand that one of the most significant features of these conventions were the principle of non-refoulement. Principle of non-refoulement. What is the principle of non-refoulement? That is, no state shall expel a refugee to any territories where his life or where his freedom would be threatened on the basis of any grounds. On the basis of any grounds means on the basis of religion, caste, race, or sex. So it is a kind of a customary within the international law that even though if a country haven't signed in this protocol, it will be binding on the non-parties. That is, even if India is haven't signed into any of these protocols or convention, as per the it is a kind of a customary thing in the international law that it is binding on all the member states as such. Okay, so it is often argued by many people that this principle does not bind India, since it is not a party to the 1951 convention nor the 1967 protocol also. That is why I again made it a point that it is a kind of a customary thing that in the international law such kind of a provisions, because as we already said, refugee law is a part of international human rights law, because of which such kind of a refugee asylum laws will be binding even on the non-parties. Not only that, Article 14 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights said that everyone has a right to seek asylum in other countries from persecution. So what if in my country, if I am facing persecution, definitely I have a right called as right to leave, right? So if I am not getting that right to leave or right to freedom, so where should I go? Definitely I should go to some other countries where I will get asylum, right? So that is why we are this is the general global framework with respect to refugee sense. Now let us see what is India's stance about it. So we can see India lack any specific legislation according to this refugee law. We have a Foreigners Act that was in 1946, but it fails to address any particular problems that is faced by the refugees as a class. Then we have that amended Citizenship Act, where also we can see that Muslims are excluded clearly with the preview, and seeks to provide citizenship only to Hindu, Christian, Jain, Parsi, Sikh and Buddhist immigrants who are persecuted from the neighboring countries. And what about the Rohingyas, who are minority Muslims? So we can see that in the India stance also, there is no specific legislation that is being provided also. So what is the way forward? So as UPSC aspirants, as future steel framework of country, what we should do? So we can see that India should do certain things to provide the basic facilities, the sanitation, proper drinking water and medical facilities to the Rohingyas. And also we should make arrangement for the deportation if it is possible. For like definitely we know that we are like overpopulated, we are now the most populous country in the world, so definitely we will be having our own constraints. If that is a constraint, we should have a international talk with respect to the country of Myanmar, and we should make a necessary arrangement for the deportation. Then any host country considerably should protect them rather than throwing them again into the same. That is not at all humane, right? Like if any, like in my country, if I am getting persecuted, if I am seeking asylum in any other country and they are saying that no, you're not admitted here, go back to the same country and get persecuted, no, that's completely unacceptable, right? So we should not do that. Also we can see that India hasn't ratified any of the international convention or the protocol. So India should take the initiative to get it ratified with respect to the refugee status. But India is doing very good things. We can see here India recently built 250 homes for the refugees in Myanmar's Rakhine province for when they return. That means if they are returning back to the Myanmar province, they will not be left aloof. They will be having proper home built by Indian government itself, so that they can go back to Myanmar, have a safe place for them to reside also. Okay, so we can see that these are some of the way forward that we can suggest with respect to this issue as such. But friends, you should understand that India is duty bound to deal better with refugees, right? So we are a country with a great legacy, with a great humanitarian concern. Not only that, if we take a great step in such a motion, we will be in a better position to shape the global discussions affecting global governance, including that of the refugees. That means our position, our stand definitely is much more higher in the global perspective right now. But definitely, if we are taking a great stand in this sphere also, it is going to improve, or it is going to inculcate much more greater sphere or much more greater power with respect to our position in the global scenario also. Okay. Yes. Now let us proceed further to the next topic, which is a small topic. Karnataka ranked the most innovative state in manufacturing. Okay, that is an interesting topic. Okay, you can think like why my state is not being ranked. Okay, you can have a small research on that also. So survey on the degree of innovation among manufacturing firms, what they found out, Karnataka is the most innovative state, followed by which states Dadra and Nagar Haveli, the Daman and Diu, and also Telangana and Tamilnadu. So we can see that these are the chronological order of the degree of innovation, states with the degree of innovation or the union territories. Then, so if we see the statistics, we can see Telangana, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu has the highest share of innovative firms, with Telangana having 46.18% of innovative firms. Karnataka is having the 39.10% and Tamil Nadu having 31.90 also. So Odisha, Bihar and Jharkhand reporting the lowest share, 12.78, 13.74 and 13.71%. Not only that, it has to be added that almost some 8 lakh odd organization which was being coming under survey. We can see that especially the MSMEs, they haven't done anything innovative as per the survey conducted by the as a part of the National Manufacturing Innovation Survey, or NMIS, which is a joint study conducted by the Department of Science and Technology and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization called as UNIDO. So what is the major takeaway? You should understand that the most innovative state which is considered in manufacturing was being Karnataka, and also the share of innovative firms is being given as a statistics which you can reuse while writing the mains answer writing with respect to manufacturing, also with respect to GS3 with economy, as well as with respect to GS2 governance. Now let us see some of the barriers to innovation. What are some of the barriers for innovation? If take an example that you yourself are running or working in an organization, there is no innovation happening. What could be the reason? One thing is lack of internal funds. Yes, my organization will not have internal funds to run that. You may think like that, right? So that is one important challenge. If I am not coming with innovation, means I may not have internal funds. Then high innovation costs. Suppose I am running a product. If I want to make some innovation, definitely all the kind of a production levels have to be changed as per the innovation. So it will result in innovation cost. That is another challenge. Then lack of financing from external sources. So we can see that there should be some kind of a health external support that should aid us in case of lack of internal fund. If there is no external source financing, means there will not be any innovation. Then low demand for innovations in the market. If the market itself is saying that there is no need of any innovation, what we are giving as a product, give that, we are okay with that. So like we can see that all our economy is driven by what? Driven by market, based on a floating market economy, right? So demand and supply is the thing which is actually driving us forward. So if the demand itself is saying that there is no particular demand for any innovative product, if there is market is not demanding for any innovation, then we cannot do anything, right? That is another barrier or challenges for innovation. Then one, organizational rigidities within the firms. So we can see that red tapeism, such kind of egoism, hierarchy, bureaucratic elements, so all these kind of things might add on or aid in organizational rigidities, or creating all this innovation process much more difficult within a firm or an organization. Then what? Insufficient innovation potential and lack of qualified personnel. Yes, in order to bring about innovation, there should be people who are having much more ambition, who are having people who are much more skilled. So such kind of a qualified personnel will be lacking, and the innovation potential will be also very, very less. So these are some of the important points which we have to keep in mind with respect to innovation. Okay, so like these points will definitely help you in writing the mains answer writing. For example, ease of doing business, when we talk about make in India, creating innovation, like improving the manufacturing sector. So all these kind of things can be added as or included as a challenges there also. Am I correct? Am I correct or not? Yes. So I hope it is clear to you. Let us proceed further for the question of the day. The question is, which of the following statement is or are true about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? First statement A. SCO was established in 2001 with the signing of Shanghai Cooperation Organization Charter by 6 founding members, namely China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. SCO aims to promote cooperation in the fields of economy, trade, science, and technology to enhance security and stability in the region. India and Pakistan became full members of SCO in 2017, while Iran is currently in an observer state. SCO is an economic and military alliance similar to NATO that seeks to counter the influence of the United States in the region. So we can see that A, B, and C are true. We have options also. Only A and B are true, only B and C are true, only A, B, and C are true, all of the above are true. So we can say that A, B, and C statements are true. We have already discussed. Then what was the fourth statement? Fourth statement, they are saying that it is an economic and military alliance like that of NATO. What is NATO? NATO means North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So unlike this NATO, it is not a economic and a military alliance. But we can see that in order to ensure the peace and security, we have a security component, but its primary focus is on what? Economic cooperation and regional stability, or to ensure peace in the Eurasian countries between the intergovernment, okay, between the member states. That is our main agenda. So we can see that it has maintained a policy of non-alignment with any kind of a particular geopolitical power, and repeatedly said that it is not directed against any third party. So we can see that it is not a kind of an economic and military alliance, but primarily we can see that it is focused on economic cooperation as well as regional stability. So what will be the answer? The correct answer is only A, B, and C are true. Okay, yes. So with that, we have come to the end of analysis of today's topic. So we have only taken very few topics, but what I wanted to my friends or to the fellow aspirants is that even though you're taking 2 or 3 topics, we should try to map with the syllabus as much as possible and try to get static points as much as possible. Rather than having 10 to 15 topics, take 1 or 2 topics. That is enough. Take 2 topics. But you should be thorough with that 2 topics. Do revisions, take notes, and all the best. So unless and until we meet next time, this is Prince J signing off. Thank you.